Hey guys, it's Christy with Christy's Custom Creations. Today we are going to be making a epoxy glitter pen. These pens are so easy to make and they are absolutely beautiful. We are going to start with a Papermate Inkjoy gel pen. We're going to take some pliers and our pen and we're going to twist the clip off of the pen. It'll come off pretty easily. Just twist it around until it pops off. Next, we are going to take the pen apart. We're going to twist the top off of it, take all the guts out, and then put everything in a safe place so that it doesn't get lost. After that, we're going to get our blowtorch, put a little bit of heat on the little part that's sticking up from where we had taken the clip off, and then sand it down until it's smooth. The heat helps soften it so that it sands much easier. I also like to sand the rest of the plastic part on the pen so that the paint grips better to it. So I wanted to try this two different ways. The first one, I put on a number 2 pencil on the eraser end, just slipped it on there. And then the second one, I took 2 small skewers that I just had laying around the house, taped them together, and put a little bit of shelf liner on them. I just wrapped the shelf liner around it, took the body of the pen, and slid it down over the shelf liner until it was secure. You may have to use a little bit of force to push it on there and make sure that it's on there really well, but it actually seemed to be very, very secure. I liked it much better than the pencil. Next, I took both pens outside and I spray painted them, one teal and one purple. Let them dry for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then it was time to apply the glitter using the epoxy method. To do the epoxy method, you simply take a very, very small amount of epoxy with a gloved finger or a finger cut like I'm using here since I'm working with such a small amount, and you put it in a very light layer over the pen. Once we have a thin coat of epoxy over the entire surface of the body of the pen, it's time to apply the glitter. On this pen, we are going to be using Fairy Dust. It is by Berry Humble Glitters and it is so beautiful. Sprinkle the glitter evenly on the pen, getting good coverage and covering up all of the areas that have epoxy on it. I like to use a paper plate to catch any excess glitter that falls while I'm applying the glitter to the pen. That way afterwards I can put the glitter back into the bottle and save it. Look how beautiful this pen is. Next, we're going to be using mermaid scales, which is from Sass & Crafts. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the last pen. Just sprinkle the glitter over the pen until we have good coverage over the entire surface that has epoxy on it. This is one of my favorite glitters. It's so sparkly and reflects teals, blues, and greens. Next, we're going to take our turner arm and attach it to the turner. I've got the number 2 pencil that has the purple pen on it, and I'm going to use some painter's tape and attach it to the turner arm with 2 small pieces of painter's tape, securing it to the arm. After that, it's time to attach the teal pen to the turner arm, and we are going to take another 2 small pieces of painter's tape and tape it to the turner arm opposite of where the purple pen is with the small pieces of tape. Once both pins are secured, I took one more piece of tape that was a little bit longer and wrapped it around the entire turner arm just to make sure that they were super secure and weren't going to be going anywhere. I let them spin for a few hours until they're dry before I put the first coat of epoxy over them. I apply the first coat of epoxy with a gloved finger. In this video I used a finger cot. Didn't want to waste an entire glove on 2 tiny little pins, so I just used my finger to smooth the epoxy onto the pen. And then I take my blowtorch and make a quick pass across both pins, popping any air bubbles and helping the epoxy smooth out nicely. I applied 2 coats of epoxy to these pins over the glitter, and once dry, it was time to take them off the turner. Look how beautiful that glitter is under epoxy. I then took a small piece of sandpaper and sanded over the edge of the pen where the cap would screw back onto the pen. I want to make sure that I don't have any epoxy hanging over the edge and then it's nice and smooth. If you wanted to add some personalization to these pens, you could cut out a name or saying with a silhouette or cricket and add it to the pen, and then add 1 final coat of epoxy to it. For these, I just decided to leave them blank. Now it's time to put the pen back together. Put all the pieces back in the way that they came out. Screw the top on, and you're ready to go. This is such a fun DIY project where you can make absolutely stunning pens using some glitter, epoxy, and Papermate inkjet pens. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like my video and subscribe to my channel to check out even more fun DIY projects. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.